welcome back to my channel, Button and Pip. So today I'm going to be talking all about my June makes, and I just can't believe that we're already in July already and we've finally got some sunshine. I know in Britain all we ever moan about and talk about is the weather, but I have to say it's been a long time for this sunshine to come. So yeah, I've had a really lovely month actually, and it's been a bit of a mixed bag. So I'll start actually with something that's new that I did last month, and I actually did this at the start of the month. Now if you've watched my previous video, I've started a little mini collaboration with Becky from Notes from the Sewing Room to do a series called The Hack Off. Now we chose the marigold pattern, the Telling Your Buttons marigold pattern, and we hacked it both in different ways. And we've talked about it all on our other video, but I think it's one of my new June makes, so I include it here. And I did the marigold bodice with the bateen skirt. And since I've made this, I've worn it quite a few times actually. It's really nice, just sticking on jacket, cardigan, trainers, off I go. So I know that's actually going to get a lot of wear. And it's really difficult to show you because it's in navy and it doesn't really photograph very well, but it's lovely linen, viscose linen from Fabric Godmother. But if you want to know more about how I put those two patterns together, go and have a look at my other video. So that was what I did at the very start of the month. Now, my next pattern that I did, the lovely Freya from Crafty So and So and the My Handmade wardrobe patterns, they contacted me and asked me if I'd like to review one of their patterns. Their newest pattern is going to be coming out as a paper pattern, and it's the Ready to Party dress. Now they've already released this as a PDF, but I know they're re-releasing it as a paper, and quite a few people I saw actually in this at the dressmakers ball. Now let me show you the line drawings. There's quite a few variations that you can do. So you've got a scoop front neckline or a sweetheart neckline, and then you've got two versions of the skirt. So you can do the pencil wrap skirt or the flared sort of slightly gathered skirt. Now the version that I've made, I actually saw this as this is a sample actually in a Crafty So and So shop, and as soon as I saw it I was like, oh, I love that pattern. And I was like, oh, what is it? So what I've done is, let me put that down so I can show you. I've done the scoop neck line. I don't really do a sweetheart, even though actually the marigold has a sweetheart. I don't really like too much fuss here. I quite like the simple sort of neckline that it has. And I've actually done the wrap pencil skirt. So let me just pop up and see if I can show you. So you've got the front there, so it's got princess seams here. Also, it's got a sort of panel on the back. Also with the back, it's got a dipped scoop back, and I really love that feature actually. Again, it's quite fuss-free, but it's just such a simple design. And also the skirts, I don't know if you can see, it's a pencil skirt. It almost reminds me a little bit of a tulip skirts, the way that it sort of goes around the hips and then back in, and it's a wrap that sort of goes over. Now I wore this actually to the school prom and I was really excited. This fabric I bought actually from Crafty So and So, and it's a viscose lawn, and I sewed it up in, was it one evening? Yes it was. I managed to do it in one evening, and I was just so excited. I really wanted to get it done for the school prom. And it just actually is the perfect party dress. I really like it. Now, one thing that I did have a little bit of issue was the wrap is actually quite gapey. I don't know if you can see, because it only holds it here, and as you sit down and walk, it does sort of gape. Now, some people will be completely fine with that, but I get a little bit conscious that I'm flashing a little bit too much leg. So what I did actually when I went to the prom is I put a tiny little stitch in sort of around here, and it just held it really nicely actually when I was walking. And because you've got the split up the back, having that little bit of extra security there, it doesn't make it difficult to walk in at all. And I love it, and it's got actually princess seams on the front and on the back, and it really helps with fitting. I didn't have any fitting issues whatsoever. Let me see what size I made up. Let me have a quick look. I think I made up a 4. Let me see if I can get it out. 1, 2, 3. No, actually, it's a 3 that I made up. And when I took my measurements, it was spot on. And I haven't had to make any adjustments whatsoever. So look out for that. I know they're re-releasing it as a paper pattern. If you can't wait till then, you can just download it. It's a really lovely pattern, actually. It says a skill level, some experience required, and I think I'd agree with that. And I think that's because of the princess seams and sort of the fitting, because the bodice does need to be quite fitted. And I think if you were less experienced, more of a beginner, you might struggle. But saying that, actually, the instructions are so comprehensive. There's loads of lovely little tips actually in it. Let me see if I can get them out. Yeah, so there's loads of tips. First of all, to finish all your edges, I use my overlocker. It talks about how you can mix and match the pattern. I quite like that diagram. It shows you how you can do the different combinations. So I did the scoop neck with the wrap skirt. So yeah, there's a possibility of actually making 4 different dresses with this pattern. And like I say, there's loads of lovely tips there, like how to make a dart, how to understitch, how to insert pockets. Now that's one thing I didn't actually put in this. I didn't put any pockets, even though I do love a pocket. But I was thinking, because it's a tulip skirt, I didn't want to add the pockets and then add more bulk. So I've missed them out. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I've cheated myself because I've not put a pocket in, actually. Yeah, so that's one thing as well. It actually teaches you to hem using a bias binding, because obviously the wrap has a really deep curve on it. You wouldn't be able to just overlock and fold in. You do need to add the bias binding, and there's loads of instructions actually to tell you how to do that. Even extra instructions how to put a concealed zip in. So actually, even though I said it was more of an experience, I think if you were an adventurous beginner, you'd be perfect to make this dress. So yeah, great pattern. I'm really, really pleased with that. And I might just keep this on now. Right, the next one. Now, when I originally got this pattern, this was my idea that I was going to do. So let me first of all talk about what pattern it is. It's the New Look 6554. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that I actually use this pattern to make my dressmaker's ball dress, my gown really. And it's not a ball gown pattern, but it was perfect in the velvet jersey that I actually used. I did it full length with a big slit up the sides. And I love that pattern. But what I originally got this pattern for was version C, which was the short skirt pattern. So I have been meaning, ever since I made this pattern for the dressmaker's ball, I've been really wanting to try to do this out of just some normal jersey for a summer dress. And I finally got round to it. Now, this was love at first sight when I saw this fabric. It was from Sew Over It, and it came up on their Monday stories as new fabric. And I'm not normally an impulse buyer with fabric. I normally have to have a pattern in mind with a plan. Even if it may stay in my stash for a while, it still has a pattern matched with the fabric. But this one just kind of, I just had to get it. I had to get it, and I'm really pleased I did because it's sold out, but I know that Material Girl Laura has just got some in. And it's, first of all, let me just show you the fabric. So it's this pink jersey, and it reminds me a little bit of the 90s and 80s, and that's kind of coming back, which has really surprised me actually. When I was at the school prom, they were playing Bewitched, they were playing Destiny's Child, Steps, and we were discussing, saying, this is our childhood sort of having its second wind. And this must be what our parents thought when we were younger and we were like dancing to the 70s and 80s. So yeah, it's a flashback to the 90s, and it's this pink with lovely brush strokes of lots of many colours. And my daughter actually, when I put this on, she turned around to me and she went, "Mummy, that's like sprinkles on a cake." So she calls it my sprinkle dress, so I'm just calling it that. Now, I picked up 1.5 meters of this, and here it is. So it's a really simple wrap dress with satin sleeves. Now this part is actually quite big. What size did I do? Oh, sorry. I think, yes, I did the size 10 because originally I wanted it to be really fitted in the skirt. But I think because this is a little bit heavier weight than the jersey that I did my dressmaker's ball dress out of, it does kind of stand a little bit prouder rather than sort of the drape that maybe I was hoping for. But yeah, it's a lovely fit on the top, although I have put a little stitch in there to cover my modesty because I think it would have just like woohoo gaped open. And then it's got an elasticated waist, and I've just actually, even though the pattern shows it the length that I want it, I had a little bit extra fabric, so I just thought to take my chance and I added about 5 centimetres to the bottom of the shortest version pattern piece, and I am really glad that I did because this is still quite short, and I think, like, I haven't even double hemmed it, and I think if I'd gone with what the pattern actually did, it would have been way too short, and I didn't add the slits either on the side, so I think that would have been a bit like not something that I'm used to wearing. But anyway, it's a perfect dress, and it feels very fun when I'm wearing it. I feel like just really playful and fun. So yeah, that's another one. Oh, it actually comes with a tie around the sides, which is a lovely feature as well. I quite like that. I just do it in a knot and just leave it at the side. So yeah, really pleased with that. Laura's actually got the white version of this in, and I am so tempted to get some of that as well because I just love that print. I just love it. So yeah, really happy with that one. Now, the love of patterns is back. Even though I have gone plains recently, this is, I'm not being afraid with the pattern. So this is a Minerva Crafts blog post. It's going to be coming up, I think towards the end of the summer. And it is this amazing, let me show you, unicorn fabric. So it's got unicorns and rainbows and castles and stars. Oh my goodness, how amazing is that pattern? Now, when I first saw it, I thought, yeah, I could make something for my girls. But then I was like, no, I'm having that pattern. And I've made some pyjamas. So I made a matching set of pyjamas. How long ago was it? A couple of months ago. I think it might be in April or May. And I've always thought a bit of a waste of time making pyjamas, but I'm a total convert now. Well, you live most of your time in pyjamas, don't you? I know I do. As soon as I get home from work, I put my pyjamas straight on. So having some lovely handmade pyjamas is actually a massive bonus. So I've made it by matching the Molly top from Sew Over It with the Stella joggers from Tilly and the Buttons. And what I've actually done is I've also got some ribbing and added it on the top of the Molly top, and I've got a random thread from my stash. Look at that. So these are threads going all the way to some fabric. It's like Hansel and Gretel taking me back. So yeah, I've also put the bias ribbon on that and also on the bottoms. Now, as soon as I put this on, I've loved them. Absolutely love them. And I know they've also got this fabric in a pink colourway, but I really like the blue, and they are just so fun. So with the warm weather, even though it's been quite warm, I've still managed to be able to wear them because I just love them. Who doesn't love unicorns and rainbows? So yeah, that's been my funnest and most amusing make of the month, and it's actually been quite a return to colour, which has been quite nice. So yeah, there's my June makes, and even though I've got a holiday planned at the end of July, because it's veering towards the end of school and it's going to be school holidays, I've got loads of exciting plans. I might do a video actually of all the plans that I've got, but yeah, I'm going to actually try a few new summer patterns as well that have been in my stash since last year that I picked up and I've been itching to have a go at. So yeah, happy sewing month again. Right, well, I'll leave you there. If you've liked this video, if you could just subscribe and like as well, and whatever notifications or whatever you put on, that'd be really lovely. It'd be really lovely. And thank you ever so much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.